Can you hear me? Let me take my mic. Hey, unique child from Maryland, welcome. Thank you. I'm gonna let a few people get in the room. I started. The live starts at 10 p.m. Ghana time. It is 9:58. So we're gonna let some people come on in. Make sure my internet connection is good. I wish I had some unique child. Welcome, Prince B from the UK. Hello, Ebony. We have a moderator in the room, which is Ebony. So again, the live starts at 10 p.m. Ghana time. It is 9:59. Hello, Linda. Hello, Barbara. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Barbara, did you send me the information about the link for my membership? If so, I left you my email. Please email me so I can give you my WhatsApp number, because on the laptop you can click join, and on Androids you can click join, but iPhone want to be difficult, and for the price of iPhones, nothing should be difficult. You're welcome. I love to listen to what you have to say about garden. Okay, Prince. Well, today we have a different subject today. And if anybody wants to come up as a guest, let me know so I can hear your story from your voice. If you want to hide your face and it allows you to turn your camera off, you can do that as well. So it is 10 o'clock p.m. Let's go ahead and get this chat started. We have 18 people in the room and one moderator. So the subject is basically, have you ever broken up with a person? The floor is open to any conversation, but the main subject is, have you ever broke up with a person and they didn't break up with you? Like you literally was like, this isn't working. It's not you, it's me. We're going to break up. We're going to separate and let this go. But have you ever literally broke up with somebody and they didn't break up with you? And if you have a story, come up and let me know, or I can read the comments as well. Other than that, the floor is open. I'm back home. I did come back home, so we're no longer in the the hotel. Well, it's kind of like it's a hotel. It's kind of like a Airbnb type situation. Hey, Michelle. So we're home. We do have water, but we don't have hot water. And we have only one socket working in the living room. The kitchen's not working. The dining room's not working. But that's okay. A cold shower is better than no shower at this point. We have another moderator in the room, which is Kenny. Don't play with Kenny. Don't y'all play with Kenny. Kenny's in the house. Thanks for coming, Kenny. So did you read the subject? So nobody ever broke up with somebody and they didn't break up with you back. Like you broke up with somebody and they just refused to break up with you. Like I broke up with this. Well, I've had a couple situations where I broke up with somebody and they refused to break up with me. Like they literally didn't break up with me, and it made my life a living hell, like a living hell. I had this man sit on my porch. I kid you not, in Detroit. For 7 days, he sat on my porch because he was acting a little weird and crazy. I couldn't really take my kids to school unless I went out the back door, which the back door was bolted closed. It was bolted closed when we moved in the house in Detroit. I mean, like bolted up, cemented up, something like that. This guy sat on my porch for 7 days. I called the police, and the police come out while he's sitting on the porch and said that they cannot arrest him, that he's not committing a crime. All he's being is a nuisance. And I said, but he's kind of mentally ill. I was never even in a relation. First of all, I was never in a relationship with this guy. He was somebody that liked me. And I just didn't like him back. And they would not make this man leave my porch. They asked him, he said no. And they basically said there's nothing they could do. I used to stay in Jamaica, and it used to it used to be so hot, and I only had access to cold water. On where I went, I used to appreciate it because it was so damn hot. I don't care how hot it gets. I cannot stand a cold shower or a cold bath. So that's pretty much the subject. Like I said, if you ever broke up with a person and they didn't break up with you, other than that, like I said, the floor is open. We are home. We do have water. We just don't have hot water. It's one thing after another. But like I said, that cold shower was better than no shower. So, and we can always boil water and take a bucket bath in the shower, which is kind of crazy. So anybody need to come up and tell their story? Anybody want to talk? Kenny, come on up and be a guest. Have you ain't never broke up with? Oh, let me rephrase this. Has somebody broke up with you and you refuse to break up with them? Let's flip this around. Yeah, crazy. Jamaican over me staying at my place. Scott. Really, Barbara? Hey, Missy. I think this is your first live. Did you get a notification? Yeah, crazy. Jamaican over. I mean, were you in a relationship with him, Barbara? No notification. You know the subject, Missy? The subject is, have you ever broke up with a person and they didn't break up with you and like made your life a living hell? It took restraining orders, and ultimately he was deported. Yes, boyfriend. Now, you know what's crazy, Barbara? I'm sure you a grown woman. You made it clear to him that we're not together, and he just wouldn't leave you alone. Like, what was the experience? Are you scared to come up as a guest? Not scared, but uncomfortable. Thank you, Missy, for the super sticker. Appreciate that. I love super stickers. He should have got deported after attacking me, holding me. Barbara, come up as a guest. Tell us your damn story. Chat. Hold on. Straight up, Barb, I understand what you're saying. Most of those Jamaican guys are absolutely crazy. Some of them will murder you. Some of them will beat you. They love to beat their women out there. Really? I went to Africa, got married. When women became abusive, I left her. Wow, Fred. Yeah, he deserved to be deported. But thank you for the one up on Jamaicans, because I done told y'all all I can about Ghanaians and Nigerians, because those are the people that I know of. I don't know none of them to be abusive, but wow. So again, the floor is open for any discussion. Beating the hell out of me with the Timberland. Bought him with the Timberland. I bought him for Crick. He had he had the nerve to beat you with a Timberland, a Detroit Timberland boot. I call them Detroit Timberlands. Girl, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm glad you got out of that one alive and well. I understand you, Barbara. I'm trying to say I understand you, Barbara. What I'm trying to say, if some of them will murder you, some of them will beat you better. That the women, it's top of priority. The majority of them are not normal. I love your channel. You are always speaking your truth. Thank you, Deamber. Anything you got to say, Deamber? Anything you want to add to the conversation? Hey, yay, Frederick. Where you at, Frederick? Hey, one Shale. Thanks for coming in. So, one Shale, have you ever broken up with somebody and they didn't break up with you back? Like they just refused to understand that y'all are no longer together? Kicking, stumping, busting mouth. I didn't know I was his property. Wow. Okay, Ebony. Amber, I wish you could come up as a guest because we got the time. We got the time to bring you up and hear that story. But I'm Ghanaian, grew up in Sydney, Australia. Okay, okay. No disrespect to them, but no disrespect to them. There are even bloggers that's actually doing shows online right now, which even address the situation and shows this is a constant battle. Wow. Hold on. Did I just hide Barbara? I think I just hit Barbara. Barbara did it? Okay. I see Barbara. Barbara, why are you on the screen now? I don't know what's going on here. It said hi Barbara and then show Barbara. I don't know what's going on. Passport traveler, you're just too funny for me. Laugh, your reactions are off the hook. I mean, I'm trying, y'all don't know, I'm trying to figure this StreamYard out. After I halfway know how to use YouTube, now I'm using StreamYard because StreamYard will let me bring up guests, which don't none of y'all want to come up and be a guest. But if you do, that's why I have StreamYard, so I can bring guests up. I couldn't do it on YouTube. But I'm trying to figure this stuff out. I got mosquitoes. Mosquito bit me, y'all. I can talk about things from the UK to Kingston, Jamaica, and back again. If you're not careful in Jamaica, you will either regret it or enjoy the experience. That's how I feel about Ghana, but without the violence. You know, Ghana is a very, you can either have a great experience or, it could be the experience from hell. And right now, it's kind of turning into the experience from. Thank you, Deamber, for the super chat. I appreciate that. I mean, the super sticker. I appreciate that. I didn't have to download stream on my phone. I had to download it, but on my phone, it only allows me to be a guest on somebody else's show. So on my laptop, I didn't have to download it. You just go to the .com and it's there. So if you want to come up, Barbara, you don't have to download it. I could just bring your ass right on up here. Kim, where is the link to come up and chat? I don't know. Let me click add. No, that's a layout. Cancel. I don't know how to add a guest. Group layout, single. Oh, invite. Okay, I have to copy the link. The link is copied, and then I have to send it to, I guess I send it to this. I'm not quite sure. So anybody that wants to come up, I think you click this link that I just posted. Is that even a link? Hey, TT, thanks for coming in. We have another moderator in the room, which is TT. So anybody that wants to come up, I just posted the link, but that just doesn't look like a link. Is that a link, Kenny? Okay, cancel. Is Boss Chick in the background? Add to stage.
Hey, Miss Kim.
Boss Chick, are you on the stage?
I don't know. I don't know what I did. I just clicked the link.
Is your mic on? Oh, are you naked?
No, I'm not naked. How you turn the mic on?
I can't hear you. Is there a way to speak anonymously? Nikki, I do not know. I don't know if you can speak anonymously. You can probably come up and not show your face. Yeah, I can't hear her either. I can't hear you, Boss Chick. Is your mic on? It says mute mic, ban from studio, edit name, edit mic settings. I don't know. Yeah, I think she has to cut her own mic on. I'm not sure how that works. I think my name will still show, and he knows my YouTube name. Oh, well, he can see you on here right now. If he's on YouTube, he can see your name right now. We was able to. Oh, you could hear her. So that means why can't I hear her then? I don't know. Now, what's the Jamaican invasion? Yeah, Nikki. Unfortunately, if that person is on this live, they can see your name. But I'm not sure. If you want to come up for a split second and I can show you if I see your name. Oh, TT, you up here? I don't know what's going on here. TT, are you on the screen? I see TT on the screen. Please give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I put that? I didn't put that. Oh. They charmed me 5, moved in on people's all over DMV. I don't know what I was doing. Were you trying to come up on the screen, Boss Chick? And how did you get here? Oh. Okay, so has anybody got a story and they want to come up and talk about it? I need some guests up here, y'all. Otherwise, I'm not gonna pay for StreamYard. I'm just gonna be like, y'all don't want to come up? Fine. Let me go back to YouTube. Let me go back to YouTube. But it's 10:18. If we can't get a conversation going, I'll end this live around 10, probably about 10:30. I've never had a desire to go to Jamaica because Jamaica, I've only seen Jamaica on TV and I've only heard people that lived in Jamaica, and it doesn't seem like a peaceful place. It seems like a very violent place to live. Now, people that's been on vacation, they had a great experience, but we know it's different when you visit a place and live in a place. During the drug area, and he came from New York to DC. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't been around too many Jamaicans, honestly, in my whole life. I can't even, I mean, I've met them in passing, like maybe somebody I know knew, maybe somebody I know knew them. Like I know they sell, the guys that I thought were Jamaican here that sell the best weed that people go buy their weed, it costs more money. I thought they were Jamaican, but they're not. They're all from Ghana, but they just call themselves Rastas. I guess they look Jamaican. My aunt is going to Jamaica in August. Passport travel. I was trying to send you a super sticker, but it keeps saying on my end that there's an error. Please try later. I tried twice already, so if I don't get to do it this time, I will. Thank you, Princess B, for trying to send the super stickers. Nicole had a problem the other day, and she thought it was her bank, and then she kept trying, and out of nowhere, I think she sent a Zelle, and then after the Zelle, she figured out how to send a super sticker, but she thought it was her bank, but it ended up not being her bank. We don't know what it was, but she figured it out. But thank you, Princess B. Thank you just for the thought. It's looping. I'm looping. Let me see if I got data. You mean like I'm lagging, or am I going in circles? I don't know how I'm going to keep. Oh, I only have one bar. Tourist places are different than the primitive lifestyle. Well, I know that's the same way here in Ghana. Like I said, you come here and visit. People like to argue with me about how their visit was when they were in Ghana. And I told them, girl, visiting Ghana is way different from living here. I hope this gives me a better signal. It's not. Thank you, Boss Chick, for posting the link tree. Now, on your end, Boss Chick, is it a, let me click it, because on my end, I can't touch it. On your end, is it an actual link? Because even on my YouTube bio, I can post it, but it's not a link. Barbara, please email me because I need you to help me fix this membership on my YouTube. Because I was going to cancel the memberships, but I looked up and saw that I already have 2 members. Facts, I can't even read Renee's. I can't even read her. I can imagine what she's finna say before I read her comment. Let me see. Facts, my first visit like a tourist. My first visit was like a tourist, and my second trip, I lived like a local. Major difference. Yep. We can click on it to take us directly to the link tree. Okay. See, on my end, it's not a link. That's why I'm asking. Ashanti, what did you experience what was the worst experience? Was it the lights? Oh, somebody's on the backstage. Hold on, Fred. Let me see how to bring you up. Add to stage. Hey, y'all, we got somebody on stage. Turn your mic on. Now, Boss Chick, can you control the mics for me if another person comes up?
Can you hear me, Kim?
I can't hear him. Why not?
Kim, can you hear me? Mike. Kim, Kim is trying to work it out, eh? You are in the show, everyone can see and hear you, okay? Well, I can't, where is Kim now? What's that?
Start video camera. Okay, now I'm back and Fred's gone. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I can't hear people. My mic is on. Can somebody else come on the stage real quick? Hey, Truth Serum. Dang, we had somebody come on the stage and he was ready to talk too, y'all. Dang, Fred. I'm so sorry I can't hear you. I unplugged my mic to use my regular mic and that didn't work. Okay, Fred's back. Let me see if I can hear him. Nope. Okay, add to stage.
I'm back now, can you hear me?
We go to these three buttons. Remove from stage, solo layout, mute mic, edit mic settings.
Kim, can you hear me?
Reduce mic background noise, volume. I don't know. Okay.
Kim, can you hear me?
Okay, I turned his mic up. Fred, are you talking now?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
I don't know. I don't know what to say, y'all. I can't hear nobody. I really can't hear nobody.
Can you hear me, Kim?
iPhone, airplane, battery. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is probably have to end the live because I can't hear nobody. I really can't.
Kim, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear her now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I
Okay.
don't know why
How
she
are
can't
you?
hear us.
You can hear me now. Good. How are you?
She's just smiling.
How are you, Kim? Kim, can you hear me? Now I can't hear you.
I'll be damn. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming up.
No, no, it's good. Well, I like to say you're doing a great job. You're bringing the truth out. A lot of people on social media are only speaking out the positive, but sometimes also we want to know the negative, and it's okay. It's fine. You know, I'm from Ghana myself, so the job that you are doing is actually it's the truth because a lot of people are not sharing, with the Africans in overseas the truth. Me myself in 2011, I was in Ghana with my parents, and I didn't like. I end up coming back. It's just the way that I think is totally different from the way they think. Even though I'm from Ghana as well. So yeah, uh,
Yes.
sometimes you need a break as well. You know.
See, if I take Fred, are you still talking?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. I tried to, I had to click the echo button to take your echo off.
Okay.
Are you in Ghana now?
No, I'm not in Ghana. I'm in Australia at the moment.
Okay. So now what was your experience about Ghana again?
What I'm trying to say is, from me being a Ghanaian, I can see what you're saying is the truth because I'm Ghanaian myself.
Okay.
And what the social media is showing is totally different. Of course, you can experience something good, which you can share, but also the bad you have to share as well, so that people can see both of the side of the coin.
Right, correct. I agree.
So, especially like 2 years ago when our people started to go back to Ghana, for me, I was laughing because me being a Ghanaian, I sort of knew that it's not really they want them to come home, but they just want to make money. Okay,
Exactly. Exactly.
they want to make money, but then I can also see the benefit of also the brothers and sisters going back home. So even though they want to make money, it will give brothers and sisters also opportunity to get out of there and also explore a different world as well.
Right.
Okay, but the main goal for the Ghanaians, for the ministers, is just to make money. For the ministers and for the president, they wanted to make money. But the good thing we can take out of it is to get the brothers and sisters out to also to explore different parts of the world. That's the good things we can take it out. But for
Mm-hmm.
the Ghanaian, it's just they just wanted to make money. Because in our history, which I've looked into it and I know, some of our ancestors sold our own people.
It's true. It's true.
So some of our ancestors sold our own people. So it's not all gonna be like, oh, they want us to come back home, or they want the African Americans to come back home. It's just to make money. It's to create revenue. It's to make money, basically. You know.
I
And
mean, so, yeah, I believe so. I believe it's true.
And of course, all African Americans are predominantly from West Africa, which I know, but it's not necessary that they're all from Ghana specific. No. Okay, not everybody's from Ghana. And even with the Ghanaians living in Ghana now, not all of us are from Ghana to begin with.
Correct.
Okay, because Ghana, it was an empire before, and when the empire got destroyed, people from Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Mali came and formed the country called Ghana today. So even the Ghanaians, most of us are not from Ghana to begin with. You know, so that's a bit of our history there. And even the West Africans also, some of us didn't come from West Africa. We migrated from East Africa, you know, from ancient Kemet. You know, so it's just all that. But the advantage for my brothers and sisters in America and, you know, the Caribbean is, you know, sometimes we get satisfied with the place that we are, okay? And for the Ghanaians to be able to initiate for us to come back home, it's good for us to see different parts of the world and not to just limit ourselves. You know, that's the good part of it, you know, but it's not necessary. Because even me, I bought a land in Ghana and my land was taken from me. And, you know, I ended up fighting and I fought back, and then I was given another land. So just to let you know, even the Ghanaians themselves are fighting for lands. So it's not just because you are from America, that's why they're treating you that way. But all of us, even my parents, even my mom, you know, we have to fight over lands, and that's the way it is in Ghana.
How do you feel about okay, I'm gonna say this. How do you feel about the fact that I've been here for 3 years and not feeling welcome? And I kind of told you I felt like maybe the mother didn't hug me when I got to the land. So after 3 years, I'm pretty much convinced that I'm not from here. Like I just don't feel like I'm from Ghana, from the continent.
Okay, so you see, all Africans, yeah, we are all affected by, we are all have the effect of being under slavery, okay? Now, the Ghanaians, it's just lack of education. That's why they're treating you that way. They're treating you that way because of lack of education. Because even us, when we go back home, we also get treated badly as well because we're coming from overseas. So it's not, so they're not treating you because you are from America, no. They're treating you because they think that you are out of the country, and the fact that you live in the Western world, you are rich, okay? That's why they're treating you that way. Because even when my parents go back, we get treated exactly the same way as you are being treated.
Right, I've seen it, yes.
Okay, so it's not necessary. It's not necessary that because you are from, you know, America. No, because at the back of their mind, they think that you are rich. They think that you have money.
It's true.
Okay, and that's why you will be at risk.
No money. I mean, off the plane with 75. I had a girl that got off the plane with $75.
Yeah. When I share with you a story. When we visited Ghana in 2011, I'm Ghanaian, and I'm coming up here just to also share my side of the story for people on your platform to understand that it's not because you are from America, it's just because of typical Ghanaians who are lack of knowledge and treating, you know, overseas people that way. Because when I got out of the airport, they asking me for money. And when I was returning back to Australia, they locked me up in a room and they took every money that I had as a student. Because back then I was a student. 2011, I was a student. right? I was a student coming back home to finish my university degree. And because I was alone at the airport, they called me and they sat me down and they said, "Oh, how much do you have? If you don't give us money, we're not gonna let you go." So Kim, I ended up money that I had. And then, because I didn't want to entertain them, I didn't want to miss my flight, so I just said, "Here you go," and then I end up going. So they're not treating you any other different. It's just the fact that they think that the fact that you are living in Western country, that you have money, that you are rich.
Were you leaving the airport?
Pardon?
Were you leaving the airport? Were you leaving Ghana?
Yes, I was leaving the airport.
Okay, let me tell you something. In 2022, same thing. I was leaving the airport. My visa was 3 days overdue. I didn't want to renew it because I was leaving for months. So I was going to pay the exit fee. The man told me I had to pay 750 CDs to leave the airport for being 3 days overdue. Mind you, I had been to Ghana back and forth 4 times at this point. He said that I came to Ghana in 2021 and never left, never renewed my visa. Mind you, my passport is full of visa stamps in and out.
Yeah.
I kid you not, they delayed the plane 45 minutes trying to convince me I owed them 700 and something CDs when I didn't owe them that money. So finally a lady came over and looked in my passport, and she's telling the man, his name is Lambert, in immigration in the airport. She's telling him these are her visas coming in and out. She hasn't been here since March. She has visas coming in and out, and she has a current Ghana card, which means she's been here. But in the end, they still made me pay 260 CDs that I did not owe. But at this point, my husband was like, "Pay it. Let's just end it. Give them the money and go." And that's part of the problem. We just give in and just to get it over with.
Yeah. So Kim, your situation is a little bit better. Like, I have no problem with visa. I was in the country and I left at the right time. But when I got to the airport, 2 people sat me down and they took my money. And since 2011, I haven't been back, because every time I think about that, I just don't want to just go there. You know, I've been to Ethiopia. I've been to Ethiopia 3 times. I had no problem in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
You know, when you get to Addis Ababa, when you get to Ethiopian airport, they said to me, welcome home. And then after that, when I'm leaving, have a nice day. So because of that, I've been there 3 times.
Hold on one second. Ruby says, "I'm glad someone is making this woman see sense. Ghana does not only take from Americans, they take from their own people as well. She seems to think it's only Americans." Ruby, you're a damn lie. I make it very clear that Ghanaians treat each other the same way. Ghanaians have become the colonizers. I just made a video that said the elders have become the colonizers to the young people. Ghana treats each other the same way. A Ghanaian would not give you a free bag of water on the average if you ask them. So don't come on here. Somebody block her, please. Somebody just go ahead and get Ruby out the room, because I don't want to hear nothing she got to say no more. Don't come here saying that I said things that I did not say, because you rubbed me the wrong way, and I don't really know how to handle that. So y'all can time her out, or you can go ahead and block her. If there's any moderators, let me do it. Hold on a second, because I don't have time for this type of madness. Don't get on here and say things that I didn't say.
Yeah, Kim, don't you worry. I think that person has it all wrong. Now, the mindset. I do say in different videos that Ghanaians mistreat each other as well. I have never said that they only mistreat. Yeah, Kim, Kim, don't worry about people like that. People like that only wants to argue. Like for me, I'm coming up to your channel. I'm not telling anyone not to go back to Ghana or to go to Ghana. I'm just sharing my experience. Okay? So don't worry about them. Now, even though you are Ghanaian, if you leave Ghana, you are being treated as an outcast. Okay, that's what they're not understanding. All right, because when I get to the airport, it's not my Ghanaian passport I'm showing. I'm showing Australian passport. So to them, I'm just the same as I'm just the same as an American. I'm just the same as an English to them at the back of their minds. So it doesn't really matter as long as you are out of the country and you live in different parts of the world. When you are coming back, they'll beg you for money. And when you are leaving, they try and take your money. That's how it is.
Yeah. You said Lagos Airport is the worst, Truth Serum?
And because for me, I became traumatized after that because
I believe you.
Yeah, I was traumatized, you know, because at that time I was a student. I went back home with my parents and I have to come back. So I was on a journey returning back myself. I was maybe around 22 years. So for me to go through that, I became traumatized after that. And it just puts me off. And even though I'm Ghanaian, I'm African. I don't consider myself as Ghanaian. I consider myself as an African. So even if Ghana will treat me that way, that's okay. But I can always go to different African country that will welcome me and enjoy. And I've been to Ethiopia 3 times.
Yes, I understand. Okay.
You know,
well,
yeah, because
I want to thank you for coming up, Fred. I got a whole bunch of questions for me and you over here that I got to read.
Yeah, I can try and answer all the questions because this will give you, because most people think that you are being biased because you are American. So that's why I'm coming up to your channel as a Ghanaian who has gone through a lot of crap.
You went to the Lagos airport? Somebody said the Lagos airport is worse.
I haven't been to the Lagos airport, but see, I'm Ghanaian and we pretty much the same as Nigerians. And I'm not doubting that person. It will be worse. Nigeria will be worse, definitely, because the Nigerians are coming back to Ghana because they think Ghana is better. So, yes, Nigeria will be worse, definitely, of course.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, Nigeria will be worse because the Nigerians are about 250,000 in population and they want to get out. So if you think Ghana is worse, then Nigeria will be more, maybe 5 times because the population is 5 times bigger than Ghana.
Oh, I have no interest in going to Nigeria whatsoever. I have no interest in visiting any other countries on the continent except Egypt. But at this point, I'm ready to leave the whole continent. I really am. Like, we have been 47 straight days with no lights. Lights going off 3 times a day.
Yes.
47 days.
Yes, and for me, Kim, now I see traveling as an experience, right? So whether your experience is bad or good, now, like, you've added more credibility to your name because you've experienced it, so it's good. You know, so people should go. If people want to go and experience it, it's good. It's because it's gonna change the way they think.
Yes. I agree.
You know, because obviously someone will say America is bad, but you know, bad in certain way, and it could be good in certain way. Because in United States, maybe you have light 24/7.
Yes.
You see,
yes.
So and security is good in United States, right? So at the end of the day, we have to sit and put and calculate that, okay, do I want to be in Africa, but my security is bad, you know, light will go off, or I want to stay in Western country and enjoy the security, you know, because in Australia here, if I have a house or if I have a land, nobody's going to fight over that.
Right.
Okay. And in Australia here, nobody is killing one another. No one is killing anyone.
Yes.
Whereby in Ghana, if I go to Ghana right now, I'll be worried about ritual killing because they can kill you for ritual. These people, I don't understand the mindset, but they believe, or some of them think, you can use someone as ritual and make money. But in Australia here,
we have that here. Other than the rituals, Ghana's a peaceful country, and I don't fear being here. But the rituals that they do and the human sacrifices that they do, Ghanaians are very wicked. Now, one word you won't, I told my husband, Ghanaians use wicked. You hear that word so many times. You probably almost won't hear anybody use the word wicked in the US. We have no reason to use the word wicked unless it's Halloween or something. But oh, these rituals, that's the scary part. I don't know if you know where they found the student in Cape Coast in 2022. Somebody threw her outside of a car at the college and cut her private part out.
Yeah.
She was a part of a ritual.
Yeah. So Kim, look, I'm not trying to stop anyone from visiting Africa or Ghana, but these are some of the things that you have to consider. It's not a safe haven. You know, you just got to consider all that, because it's not just as, you know, as easy as the media will portray or the media will show. It's not. So for me, you know, if I have to go to Ghana, I have to be worried about the places where I'm gonna be. You know, and now recently what they're doing is they're poisoning people, whereby they put chemicals in your food, and when you eat it, you die. You see?
Yeah.
So people have to consider all that. And for me, sometimes I feel like, look, man, the best place, if I compare Australia to Ghana, Australia is way better than Ghana. Way better.
Yeah.
I don't know about comparing America to Ghana, but in Australia here, we don't really, for me, I don't experience racism as well, because it comes down to also knowledge as well. Because for me, if a white person, what the brothers and sisters in America are facing is different from what we are facing here. I don't experience racism. Why is that? Because this country, Australia here, it was first of all black people that were living here anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so if a white person wants to be racist to me, it doesn't work, because I'm gonna ask them, where are you coming from? And then they will tell me, oh, we are from Australia here. But I said, no, where did your ancestors came from? And then they will tell me, oh, we are from the Ireland, we are from the UK, we are Italians. And then I'll come around and tell them that, see, we all came from somewhere.
Right.
So I don't really experience it. And if you step on my toes, I'm going to step up on yours. And that's how it is. So to me, I give it back to them the way they give it to me.
Yes, exactly. I understand.
Yeah, so I don't really experience it. And it really depends. If you live in some parts, like for example, Melbourne, obviously if you are drinking, you are smoking, you are a gangster, then maybe you're gonna be harassed by the police all the time. But if you're not doing anything like that, you just leave and you enjoy and you go anywhere you want. And yes, maybe we're gonna experience that racism maybe fifth generation. That's what I think. But for now, no.
Well, I'm happy you came up, Fred. I'm going to go ahead and end this and answer these questions over. I got question after question over here in the chat.
Yes, can you read? Can you read some of the questions, and I'll try and keep my perspective.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to find a specific. You say even Ghanaians were kicked out of Nigeria in the 80s called Ghana Must Go slogan. I heard something about Ghana being kicked out of Nigeria. I don't remember what it was about, but I heard somebody telling me that Nigerians was kicking Ghanaians out of Ghana with a slogan called Ghana Must Go slogan.
Okay, now the history is when the president of Ghana won independence in 1957, because that president has lived in America. Of course, if you live outside, you become more African, not just Ghana. So when he became the president, which his name is Kwame Nkrumah, when Nkrumah became president, he just wanted to help every African country as well. So at some point, Ghanaians had to go to Nigeria to teach, to field working, to teach, to educate. So at some point, when the Ghanaians became many in Nigeria, they were kicked out. And that was called Ghana Must Go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that became Ghana Must Go. And then at some point, the Nigerians also end up coming back to Ghana. And then the Ghanaians also kicked them out. And that was also called Nigeria Must Go.
Right. I understand.
So in a nutshell, we Africans, we black people, we don't love ourselves. And it's not only in America, it's everywhere you go, we don't love ourselves.
Okay.
We've always hated, we've always had hatred for some, and you can't really blame it because we migrated. Look, for example, I'm from Ghana, but do you know where I'm from? My ancestors migrated from Iraq. I am from Iraq to begin with. From Iraq, we went to ancient Kemet, Egypt. Then from Egypt, we came all the way to West Africa. Then in West, so you're talking about like 1.9 trillion history. There's so many things that has happened.
Yeah, it's true.
So when you've got a bunch of race fighting, war, it just happens to be that way that we are today. So, but we need to understand, if we know our history, we will then come together and start loving ourselves. Like for me, when I saw your channel, it's not about hatred, it's about love, right? It doesn't matter what you are saying. You have the right to make your own perspective, your own opinion, and that's fine. I don't have to agree with you, but I can still show love even though I don't agree with you.
Yes. But I make it clear on my videos that I'm speaking my experience, things that I've seen, heard with my own ears, and witnessed with my own eyes. I don't speak other people's experiences unless, and I'll make that clear, if somebody told me this. But everything I say pretty much is something I experienced, and nobody can tell me how to feel about it. But people get on here and say, leave our country, you don't like it here, leave. Meanwhile, they don't live in their own country. They're saying this from another country.
Yeah, actually, Kim, if you want to leave. But the reason why I've come to your channel is to let you know that they're not treating you any different from me. They treat me exactly. So then the question is it because they lack knowledge? Yes, that's the reason why.
Yeah. Well, you know, after over 3 years, regardless to even if they treat you different, I mean, you the same, and my husband the same, and everybody the same. The fact that it has become abuse and mental, it's messing with me mentally now. I'd rather just leave your continent and let y'all be mean amongst each other and go back to what I'm familiar with.
Yeah. If anyone wants to argue with you, ask them. There's so many Ghanaians in UK, in Italy. So many Ghanaians ask why they're not coming back home.
Exactly.
There's so many of us.
Yeah. And when I ask that question, they go silent. They have nothing else to say.
No, they're not coming back home because Ghana is not the best.
Right. Right.
A lot of people, a lot of us coming back home, we get killed. I can, like, maybe 3 months ago, they've killed Ghanaian that came from Italy. You know, they killed him. You know, it's not the best place to be. It's not safe. It's safer for the.
I definitely feel safe. I don't feel unsafe in Ghana. I just don't feel welcome sometimes, and I don't like that. It's been long enough. Like I said,
No, you are welcome. You're more than welcome. It's just they lack knowledge, Kim. That's the reason why. Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I tell you a story. I met an African American in Sydney, and you know, we were like brothers, right? There's no difference. We are all, especially the Caribbean African Americans, we are all the same. We are migrating from Asian Kemet to West Africa and to, you know, same people.
Yes, it's true.
You know, we are the same people. So, but if you don't have knowledge, if I never had knowledge, I'll treat you different. Or if any African American doesn't have knowledge, they will treat me different. You see?
Right.
So you know, it all comes down to how much knowledge do you know. I interact with people based on knowledge, right? So I don't see you different from your husband, for example.
I understand.
You know, the only different is you have different. You've lived in Western country and you have different perception, different understanding. You know, and yeah, but there's no different. If I meet you in Ghana, I'm not gonna treat the Ghanaian different compared to you. No, because I have knowledge, and the knowledge is we are all the same.
Hold on, Fred. Warish, you said the state of the economics won't let diaspora go back to their indigenous land. Can you explain that, please? Would you like to come up and explain that, please, in like 3 minutes? Once you dwell in, you seen as a game. Okay, go ahead and finish, Fred.
Yeah, I think what he or she is trying to say is
I
okay.
want them to explain for themselves. I can figure it out and assume, but when people come on here and start spitting stuff out their mouth or fingertips, I really want to hear from them. So
I think what he's trying to say is because we live in such an environment that everything is provided, that everything is free. So we're not going to be able to come back home. No, I will come back home, but I'm coming back home.
You coming back here, or us coming back there, or Native Americans going back to Oklahoma? I'm trying to figure out who this person is talking about specifically.
Look, Kim. Let me give my way of how I understood this person. But for me, I'm gonna go back home. But I'll go back home knowing that, look, I have to be careful, otherwise someone can just destroy me. I have to, I'm gonna go back home knowing the state and the condition of the Africans, and that will be my protection. But if, let's say, you're in America and you think that, oh, Africa is all good, like how people are showing on social media, that's a lie.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of social media is a lie, especially when it comes to what's going on in Ghana.
So at least, Kim, you know how to speak a bit of Ghanaian language, yeah? How good are you now?
I don't know how to speak the Ghanaian language. I know me Mawachi, me Mawaha. I know me Pawacho Tanasi means please sit down. I know Eye, Aquaba, Madasi. I know Madasi with the hand up is no. So I know a little bit, but I can't have a conversation.
Oh, okay, okay. You see, at least coming to Ghana, coming to Africa, that's the good side of it, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
good side of it. I'm getting to, know different way of life, how people think, and once you go to where, if you are going back to the America, then you're gonna see America as different as well. You might embrace it. You might embrace, what it offers. What is good, because there's positive and negative in every aspect of life anyway.
Oh, I know. I see her. You know why? I see her because my husband says it all the freaking time. I know what that means when my husband gets annoyed.
Oh well, look, I'm not trying to stop anyone from going to Ghana. Just go, but what the media is showing you is totally different. So be ready. And if you want to go to Africa, or for example, if you want to go to Ghana, get to know somebody in Ghana, okay? Because if you know someone in Ghana, you'll be a little bit. They will guide you. They will take care of you. And once the community know that you are with someone that's from there that can speak the language, then it's a little bit different as well.
Okay, just a second, Fred. I'm not able to read the comments. I'm going to take Fred down in about 1 minute, but I can't read the comments. If there's somebody that wants to come up and speak, I can add you to the platform. Missy, say what you want to say. This is a judge. Well, I can't say judgment free because depending on how people say things, I get a little upset.
Yeah. So Kim, don't feel like you don't belong to Africa, okay? Don't worry about it. It's just an experience. You're part of it, and don't worry about it because it's just lack of knowledge. The Ghanaians don't know, they don't read. They only go to church. You realize there's church everywhere?
Yes.
They only go to church and dance, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true in some situations. That's true.
So they don't read, they don't even know, so yeah. We all living in slavery. So where's your husband? Where's your husband then?
My husband's inside. He's not into this social media stuff. He comes on sometimes.
Oh, okay.
But he's inside the room.
So you're gonna end up leaving Ghana, you said, yeah?
Oh yeah, I'm leaving Ghana. I mean, I leave all the time. I've been back and forth 5 times since March 2021. But this time I chose to stay 1 year because I had never been in Ghana 1 year. So I'm gonna leave. My goal is I was trying to stay until the presidency changed over, but now I'm gonna leave and come back after the new president has had about 6 months to kind of figure something out here, because it's gonna take him a while to fix everything Akufo-Addo has done.
Yeah. But once again, Akufo-Addo, he gave them free education, right? So there's only much you can do. Like the whole country is governed by outsiders. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look at our lights. They telling on us on the news that Ghana's turning our power off because they owe the Chinese money for the power. And because Ghana won't pay, the Chinese is turning the power on and off.
Look, they sold the power. Ghana supplied power to different African. It's very
across the bridge, because right after I walked across the Cocoon Bridge, they started talking about selling Cocoon Park for mining, gold mining or something. I don't really know.
Yeah. But you know, just take it this way. Don't feel like you don't belong to Africa because the Ghanaians, because of your experience. Just take it as they don't have education. They lack a lot, and that's why. Like for me, even like if I'm traumatized from what happened to me at the airport, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to go back. I'm going to go back, but this time I'm going back thinking, look, these people are uneducated, so if they behave certain way, I'm just going to try as much to absorb it without that not bothering me as much, you know. Yeah, because Ghana has a lot of things to offer actually. You know, it was called the Gold Coast. So pretty much every house in Ghana has gold underneath. But it's just the Ghanaians with the mentality, they're giving it to the Chinese. So it has so many things to offer actually.
Hold on, Fred. You got about 30 seconds left up here, but hold on. ABO, there's no reason to teach our children to speak Mandarin. Now, I have a son that speaks Mandarin. At this point, there's no reason to teach our children to speak Mandarin. There's not enough Chinese people here for all that. What needs to happen is Ghana needs to stop getting in debt with these Chinese people before they end up owning the whole Ghana. We don't need to teach our children to speak Chinese. Not at this point.
Yes, we really don't need to. And Kim, they're not as many. There's just a little percentage of Chinese. Maybe 0.005, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah, so you can't really avoid it. Like if you go to any parts of the world, you will get Chinese in everywhere anyway. But we really don't have to worry about it. You know, it's really not a big deal.
Hold on a second. Okay.
Yeah, Kim, it's really, we don't really have to give. You see, we have to channel our energy into ourselves and not to Chinese, because there's no many. There's 0.00.5. Who really cares? If we love ourselves and we are united, right? They will go back to China by themselves anyway. But the problem is the African will buy Chinese products instead of buying his own African products. That's the problem.
That's true. I see it every day.
You know, we don't love ourselves. We don't love ourselves, and that's the problem. If we love ourselves, these Chinese will go back to China, because if we love ourselves, we come together. There's nothing that will be able to break us. But the problem is we don't love ourselves. We hate each other. That's where the problem is.
True Serum, I didn't say I don't have to worry about the Chinese. First of all, I'm not going to worry about the Chinese or the white people, because me personally, I'm going home. They've been in America. What I'm saying is I'm not going to promote teaching children Mandarin because a few Chinese people own some shit over here. I'm not going to do that. That's the last thing we should be thinking about right now. Now, I can understand in the U.S. that our children need to learn Spanish because there's Mexicans everywhere. You cannot turn left or right without seeing a Mexican. And so it's, you're addressing the guest. So it's, I can understand teaching our children Spanish, but Mandarin, True Serum is addressing you. Hold on, True Serum. Let me go back up. This is why people need to come up, because listen, True Serum is saying because you don't see Chinese faces, does not mean that you don't have to worry. You don't see white faces either, but white supremacy remains the order of the day in Ghana and other countries.
Okay.
Can you see the comments, Fred?
Yeah.
You can see the comments?
I can't really see the comment, but Kim, you see, as long as you've got the borders open, there's gonna be different race coming to your country anytime, any day, and you won't be able to stop that. Now the problem is, if we love ourselves, it doesn't really matter, because even if there is Mandarin, and I love my people, I love my language, I'm gonna speak my language.
Yeah, I mean, but it's people in Ghana born and raised speaking their language, and they get beat if they don't learn English.
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. So the problem is we are the problem. Ourselves. We have the problem. Because even for example, if we are saying, oh yeah, the country is controlled by Western, Europeans. Well, who's beating the kids from speaking their own Ghanaian language? It's a Ghanaian teacher beating the kids.
It is.
Isn't it?
It is. These children get beat. They get English beat into them. If these kids don't learn their colonizers' language, they get beat. And I mean beat with sticks. For people from America, I don't mean a switch. I'm not talking about the switch grandma used to pull off the tree. I mean with a tree branch, a thick stick.
Okay, so Kim, if that's the case, then where's the problem coming from? Is it coming from the Europeans or coming from us?
I mean, it's coming from, at this point, from what I see, it's coming from, I just said the Ghanaians are the colonizers now.
Yes, we are the problem. Yes.
The younger people now.
We are the problem because we are not being responsible for our actions. We tend to blame different race for our actions.
Yeah, it's true.
Now, do you see what's going to happen now? Now, the next plan for Ghana is they've got the Menchia Palace open. They've built a new museum, right? And look at what they've done. They are getting the gold from the UK that they took. The UK took all the gold to their museum, but Ghana is getting it back as a loan. Have you heard that story?
Nope, I haven't.
Okay, so Ghana is getting the artifacts back as a loan. They are loaning.
No, I'm sorry. I did hear that story. When you said gold, I was thinking of little gold nuggets.
No, now Ghana is getting the artifacts.
The British, are you talking about where the British have all these statues in their museum?
That's correct.
Yeah, I do.
That's correct. Now the British, they're giving back all these artifacts as loan to Ghana. And Ghana is going to display it in the museum and trying to get African Americans or the diaspora to come back there as a means of tourism again.
Right. And I won't be a part of it.
No, you don't have to be part of it, because do you see where the problem is? The problem is we are the people enslaving our own people.
It's true. It's true. I'm telling you, I'm living here. It's the truth. It saddens me to hear it. Listen, and this might not be a big deal to you because you are from Ghana and maybe you grew up this way. It saddens me to hear little kids have to call their teachers master. In the U.S., we say Mr. Brown, Mr. Smith, Mr. Jackson, but to have to say master to your teacher, it could have a different meaning, but it disturbs me.
Yes. So if any African American think that, oh, okay, my ancestors has been in slavery 400 years now, I tell you what, the Africans are living in slavery up to today.
Today. You're right.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
They can't, and that's why look at all these inventions. It was done by our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean and in America, because the Africans are living in slavery up to today. So the only way that we can fix this is we going back, but then putting it at the back of our minds that these people are even worse, that they are living in craziest life, in slavery, in bondage. That's the only way. That's the only way, Kim. So you can't leave. You can't say you are going. You can't say you are going and you're not coming back. You gotta come back.
Fred, Princess, I have read the Bible over and over and over again. I was born Muslim from my dad and Christian from my mother. And I have read the Bible. Have you read the Bible? Because Princess could be talking to you. She says, sorry to disappoint the U.S. in modern day Babylon, the great that the Bible speaks in Revelations. And if you read the book of Revelations, you will understand what's going to happen to that place. I don't have to. Now,
Kim, I was Christian for 27 good years. I know the Bible back to back. Now tell this brother or sister that the Bible is only a basic instruction before leaving the earth. It's basic. The Bible is only basic instruction before leaving the earth. It's only basic. There's more to the Bible.
It is. And not only that, I've seen Bibles, I've seen where parts of the Bible was taken out and seen, and even in the Catholic Bible, there's a whole bunch of books in the Catholic Bible that's not in our Bible. But Fred, I'm going to have to go ahead and take you down and bring someone else up. I do appreciate you. You have
no problem, Kim. Enjoy Ghana. Come back again. You belong there. You belong to Africa. Don't let anything let you down. Don't worry about them. All right?
Thank you, Madasi. Okay. This is what the Africans don't want to admit, that they are enslaved to this day, and Black Americans are over that. I mean, I don't think they know that they are enslaved. I really don't. I really don't. Peace, Fred, for your perspective. Exactly. Thank you, Fred. Why are the poorest people the most religious? Listen, True Serum. Why are the poorest people the most religious? It's the opium for the disenfranchised. Listen. You got so many white people in this world, and I'm going to say white and not rich, because Black people that's rich do still believe in Christianity and all of that stuff. But you got white people in this world that ain't never read a Bible, ain't never owned a Bible. They don't know, they don't care nothing about Jesus and none of this madness. They don't have nothing to do with it. What you see is poor people counting on Jesus to come and save them. They're praying to Jesus, and I don't want to offend nobody. We're not going to get off into religion, but you got the poorest people praying to the same Jesus, praying to God. And like I said, in that slave dungeon on the 4th floor where there was church and these Europeans were praying to God, you got ancestors in the dungeon. Was they praying to a different God? Was everybody praying to the same God? Because God didn't help somebody. God act like God closed his ears to somebody. Because they need something to hold on to. Because they need something to hold one to, and so they can be controlled in their poverty. May be true, you know. Missy, I'm not talking against Christians or Muslims. My daddy born me Muslim. My mama born me Christian. They messed me up from birth. Okay. But I know for a fact that being on this continent, I wrote that under the editor. After being on this continent 3 years, everything about God changed for me. Innocently. Walking through that dungeon and seeing the dark, nasty, wet room that they had our ancestors in, with this little hole where they would pour water in and they had to get water however they could. Y'all know the story. They packed them in there like sardines. They lived in their blood, sweat, tears, feces, urine, afterbirth, menstrual blood. They lived amongst unalive bodies, infected bodies. Right up under the church. You think the ancestors were not in there praying to get released, for God to come and help them, while these people was upstairs praying to the same God? I no longer believe that. And I can say it out loud because God knows this is how I feel. He knows what I've seen when I went in there. He knows what I experienced when I went in there. So the God that I believe in knows that I feel my heart and it feels real. There is a church. Yeah, it's a castle. It is a whole castle. We call it the dungeon now after what they did to the ancestors, but it is a whole entire castle. And right up under the church is the dungeon. And we still don't know why they chose to put the dungeon up under the church. And then when they tried to fight back, or they didn't want to be raped by the governor or whatever, or if they died, their resting place, their final resting place is this Atlantic Ocean that I keep taking y'all to. When I went on the boat ride, that's where our ancestors, that was their final resting place. They didn't take them, if they unalive from whatever reason, they didn't take them from the dungeon and take them and give them a proper burial. They threw them over into the Atlantic Ocean, where we will go Wednesday. Oh shoot, I gotta go to this damn if this place I have to go to Wednesday is anywhere near the Cape Coast dungeon, we're going into the dungeon Wednesday. Some were held in that field for a year, and then horrors of the Middle Passage, and then the slavery that went on for centuries, all that pain, all that praying, and all that pain. Now, on the average, they lived there for it took them 3 to 5 months for the ships to take them across to the US or wherever they took them to. Now, what I've noticed, True Serum, is not talking to people and meeting people over here. They don't teach them our history. They don't know what happened to the ancestors once they got across that water. They don't teach them that stuff about us over here. I have not met one Ghanaian in over 3 years that knows our history, except things that they have seen on TV. Meanwhile, no one checked on those during slavery, and you wonder why. The Most High see it and allow you to repeat the cycle. Meanwhile, no one checked on those during slavery. I don't understand your comment, Angel. Yeah, but once they crossed the waters, nobody taught them nothing. You know, it's like they want to keep everybody over here dumb. They don't want you to know nothing. They just want you to stay. You talk about crabs in a barrel? Please. You ain't seen nothing like that till you get over here. They don't teach Ghanaians about their own history. I believe you, Fred. I believe you. My husband is 38 years old and had never seen either one of the dungeons in his life until he moved to Elmina. So he said he had only seen them in books in school. He had never actually been here on a field trip, nothing. Until I took TikTok in there and he went in with me. While in slavery, no one from Africa came for the ancestors. I mean, Angel, how were they going to get to Africa? Okay, how were they going to get? Meanwhile, hold on, let me make sure I read this right. While in slavery, no one from Africa came for the ancestors. You mean once they got to America, because they had no way to get there? I mean, how were they going to get there? This was over 400 years ago, where resources was little to nothing, boats made out of wood. I don't know how. I don't think they would have known where to go, which direction to go in. So what were they going to do? I mean, how were they going to get in a boat and go that far and help them and live? Because that's a long boat ride. And they weren't in no big old ship. Now, let me tell you what I ain't never heard nobody talk about over here is the Amistad. I have never heard the word Amistad since I've been in Ghana. But that's the movie, or that's supposedly the ship that they went on or something like that. This is what I love about the Passport Traveler, because she speaks from her experience and she speaks of what she has seen, and that's what makes her true. Exactly. You know, I can't speak something I don't know. I can't. They know how to pray, though. They definitely know how to pray. Ships the same way they got anywhere. What I'm saying, Angel, is this. If these colonizers by the hundreds or the thousands with guns and security, I took y'all to the fort. At the castle, first of all, some Europeans were coming, did not like what happened. Some Europeans were trying to come and save the ancestors. And they have I can't wait to take y'all there. They have cannons all across the castle. And they were prepared to shoot and kill anybody coming to save them or coming to interfere with any part of the trade. A little above the castle, on the Elmina Castle, up on a hill, there is a fort. And at that fort was all, I'm going to say soldiers. I'm just going to, instead of security, I'm going to say soldiers. They got the same thing, cannons. They have a hole that you look through. You bend down and look through. And that hole looks straight at the Elmina Castle. So when you get ready to shoot that cannon, it goes right there. So with all of that security, who was going to come and get on the boat and save them and go where? Angel? Yeah, it's very humbling. It's very humbling. And being in there 3-4 times, like the last time we went in, I think we went into the Cape Coast dungeon. I couldn't even finish the tour. I couldn't even go in there. Oh, you know what? I wasn't on TikTok because when I go in live, you lose a signal. So me and Latif was going to go in and just do a video. We couldn't stand in there. We couldn't do it. As many times as I've been in there, I just couldn't do it that day. It was hot. It was just too hot. It was too many people. It was tourists everywhere. It was too many people in one room. And I told Latif, imagine how we got to walk out of there freely, but our ancestors couldn't. I know you know that when on Black Person Run, everyone else would, I said that, I told you, that's why if I was in Detroit, I wasn't going to go to that NFL draft day. All the people I saw in Detroit, girl, I said the same thing to somebody on here. I said, look, I wouldn't have been in there because all it takes is for one Black person to run, and we don't care what you running from. We gonna run right with your ass, and next thing you know, people getting trampled on, and everybody got on blue Detroit Lions stuff. Nobody would have knew who was who until they pulled your dental records up. So you right, boss chick. Do Africans speak of the African people who traveled to the West before Columbus? Do they speak of the reason they come to the U.S. and look down on other melanated people. Do Africans speak of the American people who traveled to the West before Columbus? They do. I've never heard anybody speak on that. Do they speak of the reason they come to the U.S. and look down on other melanated people? Yes, I made a video about that. When they get a visa and they're going to cross, I heard this from one of my roommates in Ghana in 2006 who came over here, and I heard it from a lady over here. When they get their visas, they go through an orientation. Now, the boy I roommated with, those people that we roommated with, this was years ago, they had a live interview, an orientation, where the people was telling them Black people are lazy, they don't want to work, they don't want to learn, they don't want to get educated, they are uneducated. They told them that if you see a white woman, do not look at a white woman, because if you look at a white woman, you will go to jail. He said when he got, because he called us you Blacks. And I remember asking, like, why do you keep calling us you Blacks? Because I'm offended, because you blacker than Black. And I like dark men, so it wasn't an issue, but you kept calling us you Blacks. And I was very offended by that. I said, you going to say that to the wrong person. Matter of fact, you going to say that to the right person one day, and they going to knock your ass out. You going to wish you was back in Ghana. He said that they teach us that Black people are lazy, then they don't want to do nothing. And I said, but that doesn't give you, what about that makes you call us you Blacks? Because he treated us as if he was a white person that just got dropped in the middle of these dumb, lazy Black people. Anyway, he died a few months ago. God rest his soul. But to answer your question, they teach them that. According to the 4 that were in the apartment roommating, that's what they're taught in the orientation. I understand now it's the same thing, but it's a video. He said, Kim, I was so scared. He said, I saw white people everywhere because they took him to Texas. He eventually ended up in Reno, Nevada. He said he saw white people everywhere, and he would just look. He wouldn't look at them. He would just stand straight. He wouldn't make no eye contact with them. At Victory Music, I would not step foot in one for free. I hear you. Yes, even with being told to, okay, I missed that comment. Even with them being told to separate from us, did they have a heart desire to know their, I don't know, Zelda, I can't answer that question. Oh, I believe it, Amina. At Victory link, okay, let me see. Click the link. Is the link still there? Okay, there's the link. Whoever come, oh, somebody's in the waiting room. Hold on. Boss Chick, can you please control the chat? We're gonna try to keep people up here for like 5 minutes, and that's it. So it looks like you can come up here anonymous. Unmute mic. Can you hear me? No, the mic is still muted. Unmute mic. I can't unmute the mic. Unmute your guest because hold on. Every time somebody come up here, I have to go into the mic settings. This is not good. I'm gonna have to figure this out because I have to go into, I don't know, I can't. I can't figure this out. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me see. AB removed from stage. Unmute. Okay. You're still not unmuted. I can't figure out how to unmute. How to unmute him. Unmute mic. Unmute your guest because they choose to mute. Oh, you chose. If you choose to mute yourself, then it says the guest has chosen to mute themselves. All guests are now required to authenticate. AOB has been kicked from the studio. To return, they'll need to connect with YouTube or Facebook. If they return, you'll be able to permanently ban their. I don't want to ban them. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't unmute. It says that they have their own mic muted. I don't have access to that chat. What do you have access to any chats? It doesn't allow me to control this. Oh, does okay? So they're back up. Let me see. Unmute mic. Your guest because they chose to mute their mic. It says that he's choosing to mute his own mic. I don't know what to do. Okay, your mic is unmuted. Add to stage. There we go.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going great.
That's good. Okay, I was just wanted to I noticed I made a comment about speaking Mandarin and I got muted for that. Like I wasn't able to comment anymore. So I'm just not sure what the rules of engagement are. If I'm saying something that's not maybe favorable, am I gonna get muted or am I gonna be blocked from chatting in the chat? How does that work?
Okay, for one, that's why I prefer people to come up because texting and chatting can be misunderstood. I can't go backwards all those comments and figure out what happened, but that's why I prefer people to come up.
Okay, that's understandable.
Now,
So yeah,
we've been trolled a lot. Like we're very defensive in here because we have been through a lot of trolls over the last 9 months, and they get really ugly, really condescending, and really nasty. So you could have just been misunderstood.
okay, I understand. No, I'm not actually trolling you guys. I was a Pan-African for a long time, and but one thing that one thing I've noticed is that and I'm in America, so I've been in the African community for a long time. I grew up with my best friend was an African from Uganda, so I'm very much aware of or educated on certain things in the quote unquote on the continent, right? But one thing I will say to people is that, and it may not be a favorable, thing that I'm saying that you may like or not like, but I'm just being honest because my background is in finance and economics. So one thing I have suggested is that if you're going to speak a language, it's always great to learn whatever the secondary language is in Africa or the dominating language because there's so many tribes out there. But one thing I've learned is that if you learn Mandarin, and it may not be favorable to you guys, but if you look at it from an economic standpoint, like everything that we do, everything that we need is based on China. Like unfortunately, but that's just how society is. And if you haven't noticed, China have a lot of advantage and a lot of power in Africa. And as an African American or Black American, us going there, there's too many languages, tribal languages to learn. But one thing for certain is that the economy will keep growing. And Africa has a lot of challenges right now where a lot of stuff, if they don't fulfill their debts, a lot of things, and you can Google this, a lot of their properties and a lot of things that are owned by the locals and the government are being turned over to China. So like, and
I don't have to Google it. I understand that.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like I have children and I'm not letting them learn Spanish because Spanish is a labor language in America. It's only popular because it's based on cheap labor. Now things that are actually done where it's on the market and like German, I mean that is there's so many things that and that's important for us to learn. But I would just honestly say that a lot of people should start learning Mandarin because that will be the next global language on the continent or the next continental language. And that's not based on me being biased. It's just the fact that economically it's important. And also they're building their own police stations. I mean, there's so much that they are going to be doing that if anything happens, things will be turned over to China. So that is why I'm saying it, and I think any Black American that is going over there, it's important to take a basic language class on Mandarin because or an Indian class, with the Hindi.
One thing I want to say is the reason people are there is a reason to learn Spanish in the U.S. because there are a lot of Spanish speakers in the U.S. and regardless of whether they're over there for farming, whether they're whores or prostitutes or they work in offices, there's enough Spanish speakers in America for us to learn Spanish. There's nobody speaking Mandarin over here.
No, we don't need Spanish. It's a labor language. It's a $5 an hour job. Why would I learn Spanish? That doesn't make sense. That's not based on survival. African Americans don't need to learn Spanish. That is a lower class language. Learn German. Learn Mandarin.
I disagree with that. Yeah, I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
You don't need Spanish to survive in America. I mean, it's a first world country. Why would we learn a third world country's language?
Who's a third world country?
Spanish.
Which Spanish is a third world country?
Mexicans.
I don't care if they're listen, whether they're third world or fourth world country, in the United States, especially in California, Texas, there is a need to learn Spanish because if you are bilingual, you have a better chance of getting a job in the U.S. speaking Spanish.
If you want to be a doctor and a surgeon, you don't need Spanish. Spanish is only for cheap labor and it's industrial. It's not because you want to build the best technology. It's not because you want to buy an iPhone. It's not because of anything on a higher level. And if you don't believe it, you should search it. You do not need Spanish to be successful in America. That is a poor man's language. It's a certain job that you don't you have to be a lawyer to be Spanish. You do not have to be a lawyer. You do not have to learn Spanish to do anything in America. Exactly. If you choose,
or if you in Florida there are a lot of Spanish people.
It's a labor language. It means
not where I come from. It's not a labor language. It's not.
It is.
If people learn Mandarin, you think it's going to be a labor language over here? You think they're going to put Africans in the corporate office if they learn Mandarin?
I'm talking to Black Americans should be learning Mandarin if you're going over to Africa because that's where the stock exchange.
You're saying, listen for a second. You're saying in America, Spanish is a low-class labor language, right?
Yes.
If we teach our Africans Mandarin, it's going to be the same thing because do you think they're going to give these Africans high corporate jobs? They're going to give them low labor jobs. So what's the difference?
Hold on a second. Everything is made in China. All technology, a lot of things.
Everything ain't made in China. Everything's not made in China. Everything's not made in China. No, everything's not made in China. If you got a doctorate degree, I ain't gonna believe that. Everything's not made in China.
I'm not saying everything's made in China, but majority of society is the Chinese market. I don't remember any Spanish companies buying out African countries, but I know of Chinese companies buying out African nations. Show me one Spanish nation in Africa that's buying them out. There's not one of them because they don't have the same type of situation. The British are done, the Americans are done, the Chinese are going in. There's not one Spanish company on the face of Africa that have outsmarted an African. But the Chinese are hiring Spanish people to work for them. Tell me one Spanish person that hired the Chinese to work for them. Tell me one Spanish person that hired in America a Chinese person to work for them. You can't name one company, no one restaurant. Chinese, Spanish people in America are labor people, and they're cheaper by the dozen in America. The Chinese will never go and work for a Spanish person, especially not in California. Not even a Korean. But Koreans hire Spanish people to work for them under the table. Show me one Spanish country, one Spanish that have outdone an African on the continent. All those contracts that these Africans keep being turned over are things coming from China. You guys can bow down to that if you want to, but I'm just being honest with you. That if you can show me where the Spanish people are buying out Chinese companies.
I don't know your name. It just says S. I'm gonna agree to disagree with you, and we're gonna leave it at that because we're not gonna agree.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks for coming up, though.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Deshelle. I'm going to try to fix that when I get off of here. I'm going to go into my settings. I'm not learning Mandarin, and it will not dominate in Africa, despite Chinese being here. Swahili will, in some years. I mean, I agree. I agree. I had no choice, one Shale. I really didn't. Kenny, with the advancement of AI, we will all be multilingual. You know, I disagree with S. I don't know her name because it just says S. But I don't agree that Spanish is a low labor language. There's all kind of people in corporate. My son that died in Mexico went to Mexico to study the culture. He was already fluent in Spanish in his 20s. Fluent. He was a Spanish tutor at the college in Fresno. He moved to Mexico to learn the entire culture and ended up living there all his life, having a wife and 4 kids. Now, he was the top of the line at his job. He was the matter of fact, he was the only person in the entire company that could take Spanish callers. That was not a low labor position, okay? There is a lot of people in high corporate positions in America speaking Spanish. Your best bet in America is to learn Spanish, because if you're bilingual in Spanish and English, 1, you have a better chance at getting a job than I do. 2, you'll get better pay. So I really don't know where she live or where she come from, or I don't know if you're Chinese, ma'am, or not, but I'm not really sure how to handle this conversation. So, but I'm not encouraging nobody. I have a son that speaks Mandarin. He was in an Uber one day about a year ago, and the man was, he knew the man was speaking Mandarin because the man didn't know where he was going, even following the directions. And my son heard him speaking Mandarin to himself and started speaking Mandarin to him. And the man turned around and was very, very shocked that my son spoke it. I'm a Black American and I'm in Los Angeles. Los Angeles Asians don't work for Mexicans. I don't know. The conversation right now is this Spanish stuff. She forgot Spain is where the Spanish language originates from, and not a third world. That whole third world country, I skipped over that. I skipped over that. I mean, it's a lot of people that don't work for other people. So Chinese won't hire Black people. I mean, that's neither here nor there when we're talking about Mexico. Spanish is a low labor language. That is not true at all in any form, not in the places I've lived in. And I'm not going to encourage nobody to teach their children to speak Mandarin in Africa. I don't even see enough Chinese people here. Now, I'm not saying they're not here. I've seen one Chinese person here all the way in Takoradi. When I went to go get my green card, I finally saw an Indian, I saw a Mexican, and I saw a Chinese man. That was the first time I had seen them people since I've been in Ghana. I understand what she may think of how Asians think about Spanish people, but it doesn't apply in languages to say Mandarin because Chinese is very hard to learn. Yeah, Asians don't work for Hispanics or Latinos in Los Angeles. If you're working in New York City, Spanish is a huge plus. In the state of California, Spanish is a huge plus. In the city of Detroit, there's Puerto Ricans. It's not a huge plus in Detroit, but it is a plus. Living and working in Florida's medical field often requires Spanish-speaking skills. Like I said, I really don't know I really don't know what her real point was. You know, I really don't. Exactly, Victory. Now, I worked with a lot of Filipinos in San Jose. Those were the meanest people I ever worked with in my life. Them and Nigerians were the meanest, most controlling people I have ever worked with in my life. I can walk, if I went back to work right now in any field, anywhere, if there was a Filipino or Nigerian in charge, I don't give a damn how much they paying, I'll walk out the door. The Filipinos were colonized by the Spanish at one point. That's why many have Spanish names. Okay, yeah, I don't really know about that, Amina, but thanks for that information. Zelda said to hit the like button. I heard about the Filipinos recently, like yesterday. Her point was no Spanish in Africa are in business there. She's saying the Chinese are there so they would learn. I understand that, but what she's, and I'm telling, and I'm not repeating myself, but the bottom line is I'm not going to encourage nobody in Africa to teach their children Mandarin. I'm just not going, that's not my deal. Dr. Umar said that too, and he got chewed up for it. Well, he probably should have. I'm not exactly sure if you're talking about the Mandarin or the Spanish, but Boss Chick, that's what I said. She lucky I didn't see her message because I just blocked them completely. Who are we talking about? He said they should learn Mandarin and took it back. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that one. I worked with them. Once you put them in their place, they will back off of you. Right, Martha? They compete knowing how they are viewed. Hold on. They compete. Hold on. I think I just hit somebody by. They compete knowing how they are viewed. I'm like, go ahead. You'll receive the same treatment you consider colored, boo. They're considered colored. Nigerians just feel better than everyone. They do it in other countries. Generally, they are proud people and they are very arrogant. They need to kick their arrogant asses over here in Nigeria. I'm appalled by the writing I see on a regular basis. You know what? Writing doesn't bother me because I know it started with MySpace. MySpace started all this shorthand writing and weird writing, and then you got Facebook writing and Instagram writing. People just like they make their own shorthand going on. I'm missing Boss Chick's comments. Let me go back up. I done hit somebody. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find what Boss Chick said. She seemed like she was talking from her chest. I see why she was muted. I mean, she sounded like it was about to be a fight. Honest to God, y'all. I honest to God, even if you still on here, yes, I completely tuned her out. I completely just kind of almost lit a cigarette and just pretty much tuned her out. I was waiting on my moderators to go ahead and end it. I was waiting on my moderators to just end it. You know, I'm not talking about working. I'm talking about, okay, I read that comment. Yeah, that's true. Filipinos were colonized by the Spanish, and in fact, they're considered to be the Negroes. Yeah, I'm just saying, yep, that's true. I don't know nothing about that, ABO. That's why I'm not commenting on it. I know nothing about it. Haha, I was too much, Miss Kim. Hold on. Haha, it was too much, Miss Kim. How are you doing? Are you back in that house or still at the hotel? Hello, Karen. I'm at my house. Remember when Swahili was offered at the university? Yes, and it's still offered. I believe it's still offered now. There was a time when the only African language I knew was Swahili until coming to Ghana. Well, about 2 weeks before coming to Ghana, we were told to learn the Twi language. But before that, I just thought Africans spoke Swahili across the board. Regarding Africa, make sure you guys are learning Mandarin when you got Chinese police stations in Africa, and I don't know nothing about no Chinese stations either in Africa. I don't know what part of Africa has police stations. I don't know anything about that. Got to be on a majority of Africa in about 20 years. I have talked to a lot of Ghanaian people who knows yes, Boss Chick. You know, Latif speaks 8 different languages fluently. So I don't know what language we should learn when we get here, because it depends on what region you're in, what tribe you're talking about. There is no one language. Nigeria has a Chinese police station. Then maybe people in Nigeria should be learning Mandarin. The fact that there is a Filipino police station in America doesn't mean we need to all learn how to speak Filipino. So, I mean, that don't make no sense to me. It just doesn't. The reason why Africa is being taken over by natives that are not their own, because they refuse to wake up after colonization. Well, because they don't know how to wake up. They don't know what to do. And they're greedy, selfish people. All they care about is money. Nigeria has a Chinese police action where? Tell me, I've been all over. I don't know, Kaya. This is just what ABO is saying. I've never heard of it. I don't know nothing about it. I really, really, really don't. I know why I know what I see from personal testimony with recipients. Mandarin ain't important enough for that to be taught to children. That's how they conquer you, through your children's polarization. I mean, I told you they are not allowed to speak their native tongue. They beat English into these children. Probably for 400 years, they have beaten English into these children. If you don't know English, they call you stupid. Open, as children, we couldn't use the word stupid. Like in my parents' house, we couldn't use the word stupid. We couldn't call nobody stupid. That's a common word here. If you don't know English, you're just stupid. Stupid Ghanaian. One thing I know, Africans and some Europeans have to learn their language and English because of how they view America and Europe. So many are multilingual, but never at the expense of their own culture. I closed down a Chinese store in Nigeria. Hey, Martha's Vineyard. Amen to that. I'm gonna have to figure out a way for my moderators to control the chat, because I've given my moderators full access to everything. So I don't know why you can't control the microphones and the chats. The entire nation that the Chinese will take over Africa is silly. I follow a well-known African, and he has always stated that is not happening. I agree, Kenny. The fact that I do believe that China is trying to own Ghana. I do believe that they're trying to buy. Here's the thing. Why would you loan a poor country billions of dollars knowing that they can never pay you back? Now they couldn't pay you back, and you own the land and the hospital that's on the land. Now that's just one. Now they own the light company, because Ghana owns these Chinese. Ghana owes these Chinese people. Now they own the light company, and they're cutting our shit off every day. They want their money from Ghana. Black Americans can put Nigerians in their place. Their biggest downfall is arrogance. They are the people who cannot be humble. They can't be humble. They can't. No, I've never met a humble Nigerian. Never. That's how Black people in America don't know their lineage. This is why I have to stick with Jamaicans, because at the end of the day, they don't like to be told what to do, and they won't be pushed around. They will stand firm and show the world. That's a blessing. For anybody who will stand firm for what they believe in is a blessing. We were cut off completely. You mean live was cut off completely? Well, I'm definitely not fighting with you. I'm actually driving. I got a high-pitched voice. Sorry. ABO, are you S? Did you show up as S when you came up? It's true. There was not such thing as stupid, and we could not say it. But at the end of the day, the colonizers called us stupid. So there must be such thing as stupid. I'm not saying there's not a such thing as stupid. What I'm saying is, wherever the word came from, as children, we couldn't say it, and my kids couldn't say it. But over here, they openly call each other stupid. I mean, openly, just like it's a normal word. Europe is smaller, and those people took over Africa. If they don't, the government will if the people don't respond. Okay, let me go up. Damn, sister, I don't know that the Chinese own the light company in Ghana. It's a Straightener for me. I will not be going to. Well, I found out listening to the news the other day. We were trying to find out why was the lights going on and off. Why is the government allowing this? And that's when I found out that Ghana owes the light company all this. Whoever provides Ghana's lights allegedly is owned by the Chinese. But Ghana's not the only. The Ghana government is not the only people that owe them. Like I said, the airport owes them money. Hospitals owe them money. Like all these big companies, little people like the neighbor next door that is illegally connected to lights. A lot of people owe them money. I have a particular person who wanted me to come out there to purchase land and to live there, but they have established themselves in the property field. I don't think I have no interest. I mean, people are coming out here buying land every day, and people are also, Black Americans are also leaving. They have bought land, built houses, and done got the hell up out of here. They done left their property and everything. That's the plan at the origination of the loan. They never expected to get paid in currency. The objective was land economics. Yeah, exactly. And they won. Google police stations in Africa. I'm not going to, because ABO, honestly, I'm not going to Google it, because honest to God, I don't care. I really don't. I don't care. It's them owning a gas station doesn't mean I'm finna teach. I'm gonna learn Mandarin. Kim, did you ever speak to the Black American community in Ghana that was demolished? No, but they did come on. They have a video on YouTube. Just saw a video on YouTube. The reason they went silent, the last thing I said was when they first got demolished, everybody was talking about it. The Israelites, I think the Israelite elders came on, had a big meeting about it. Well, I saw a YouTube video. I don't know if it was Go Black to Africa or not, but it was, as I don't watch him, it was a video where one of the elders came on and he explained what was going on. He said that the reason they went silent is because once they took it to court, they had a gag order. They were no longer allowed to talk about it. So he got on there to say that just be patient. It is in court. And now they're trying to figure out how to fix it, how to repay the people and get it right. That was the last thing I heard. And that was about a week ago. They won't tell you that the Jamaicans were the pirates of the Caribbean. Not any Englishmen, all Caucasians. It was actually a people of color. Slaves free and slaves. Yeah, they haven't. I haven't learned that. Mom Kim, we don't have a problem with power productions. The current government refuses to pay because they are corrupt, looted, and are waiting to blow the money for election campaign. I'm just telling you, Sel, what the news told me. The news told me that Ghana owes the Chinese people money for the lights. And first of all, about somewhere around May or June, I heard on the news myself. It didn't mean nothing to me at that time, but I heard on the news that the power company was saying that if Ghana doesn't pay the power bill, if all these people don't pay, that the main company is going to start doing these rolling blackouts. And that was way back in like spring or summer. I also heard on the news where they were going to come around house to house to house to these people who are illegally connected to the light company and haven't paid their bills. So that's what I know that I heard from the news. But you know, you don't never know what the truth is. In case anybody does not know, the word has turned its attention to the plate of Africa, and all these Western worlds want a piece of Africa. Yes, I believe it, Princess. You're welcome, Truth Serum. If you listen to the Lord on Patrick, Miss Mom, I don't understand. Yeah, Renee, that's the truth. That's what my ears heard in on the English news. Thank you, Boss Chick. Go back to lanterns. Girl, we already went back to lanterns for the last 45 days. Not lanterns, but I told y'all I got this little light right here. It has a radio on it. It has a USB port right here, a radio back here, a strobe light, a flashlight, and it comes with a cord to charge all your phones. It comes with a cord with every phone cord on it. We got a flashlight. We have a rechargeable fan. So we back in the olden days. But I'm finna get on the plane, so I'm cool. The state of Georgia just passed a law to limit Chinese from buying land. They should, everybody should. Limiting them from buying land is different from them owing you from you. Okay, that's different from them loaning you money and you can't pay it back. Ghana can say, we ain't selling you no land. But when you loan us $1 billion and we came to build a hospital and a gas station or a school and we can't pay you back, then you own it. So that's different from, selling land. They own a lot of the hair stores here in Florida, but that don't make me want to learn the language. I prefer it exactly, Boss Chick. Shit. They own every hair store in America, probably. I ain't never wanted to learn their damn language. Even while you in their shop, you don't give a damn what they say. Just speak English. Stop. What are you talking about? Speak where I can understand what you're saying. Or I can get up right now and walk out the door. If you can't speak my language while you talking and laughing, I can get up and leave. That's how it is. That's how simple that is. The whole return to Ghana tourism scam was to pay the Chinese government. Had bad debt with the Chinese. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that, ABO. I don't necessarily. Hold on. This thing done picked up. I'm typing up this. My message is on, and it's typing everything I'm saying. This is unbelievable. It done typed up. I don't even know what it's untyped. This is probably an hour worth of conversation. Let me close it and open it back up. I'm just, nope, it's still here. Good evening, Gianora. Welcome. That's the old point of the return tourism. Black Americans was to take that money to pay off China. I honestly believe that the first president that was here, I don't think it was about our money. I think he really wanted us to come home. He let us come home visa free. I think things got twisted when that president left and Akufo-Addo came in. I think at that point it became about money. China wants to become the government of Ghana. Have you watched their Dynasty movie? Then your eyes will be wide open. No, I haven't watched no movie, no Dynasty movie, but I know in movies is like Google. Whatever they want you to believe is going to be in the movie. But I haven't seen the movie, the Dynasty movies. I mean, I believe they probably wanted, everybody wanted a piece of Africa. Hold on, y'all. How the Chinese take over these African countries. They give them loans, these leaders, then take the massive loans, then they default, and then they sign. Yeah, we pretty much been saying that all night, that's how it happens. Yes, I'm S. Okay. So when you came, are you the one that came up and showed the letter S? It's all deliberate because they know that these African leaders, countries will default. Sister, I know that you may be going back to the United States, but they are also in trouble with another country. And other countries, be careful, sister, because that place is, I'm not going back to the USA. The USA is my last option. I'm not going to I'm getting off the continent of Africa. I am not going back to the United States. That is my last option. In some islands in the Caribbean, hold on, y'all. In some islands in the Caribbean also is still slavery, and Black people in South America too. The African Americans have less of this problem because they have forgotten that because they have fought for their rights. I've heard something about that. I heard that Nigeria has slaves right now. Now I don't know if it's true, but I've heard about it. Husband. Latif. Oh, I'm just making sure you woke. I think you would love Ethiopia. Visit there one day. Nah, Fred, I'm not. I'm just leaving the continent. Really, I'm going to get off the continent for a few months or about a year. Them visas are expensive. Really? You paid $274? My visa in 2021 was $60. And no, it was $60 plus I paid to get it expedited because my trip was coming up fast. The girls' trip was planned like last minute by whoever planned it, but I had to expedite my passport and my visa. But my visa was $60. And I think the multi-entry visa was $100 at the time. The return to Africa was actually about giving money from America Blacks to replay. I know, ABO, you keep saying that. Like, you keep telling us that. I know. And I said I disagree with the first president. I agree with it now. I agree now that they want our money. I don't know if they wanted to pay back China, but I do know that they want our money. I'm never giving up my citizenship, ever. I've said that on many, many videos. Never. Don't give up American citizenship. In fact, visit the U.S. Embassy. Let them know you are there. What do you mean, don't give up my citizenship, go to the U.S. I'm not giving up my citizenship for nothing. I would never be. I have no intention on giving up citizenship for nobody's country. And they know that I'm here. When I get here, I always register. There's a website where you can register and let them know you're here. I talk to them about once a month regularly because I want them to know I'm here. Do you understand how fractured China would be? Global interconnectivity is very entangled. What do you mean that is Ghana visa? My Ghana visa, we're talking about my Ghana visa, it was $60. One thing I have observed, the colonizers have studied African and African Americans for centuries, and they know what it takes to suppress us, divide and conquer. Now it's up to us to recognize. We do recognize it, G, but it's just not a whole lot we can do, and we're not united as the white people are, so that's why nothing's being done. But what we have managed to do was stay out of traditional slavery. We have managed to stay out of traditional slavery. Yes, we're still enslaved in a sense, but we have managed to do a lot. We have grown a lot from the colonizers. We are not colonized. After being over here, we're not colonized at all. We're just not. And I ain't gonna never believe it. I ain't never seen colonization until I came here. I didn't pay that much either for my visa. Yeah, I didn't either, Renee. I would love to get a hold of those core documents show. Hold on, your comment disappeared. I ain't never heard no Ghanaian say Akufo-Addo was good to nobody. Now, the one right before him, they loved him, but I ain't never heard nobody say this one was good. I said that Ghana don't need nothing. I'm on this land. Ghana needs absolutely nothing. God gave Ghana everything it needs. What they need is good, proper management, which is government. Obviously, they increased the visa fee because lots of people coming. Probably that's why they increased it. That means the passports probably went up. That's right, G. I believe that. Hold on. ABO, I'm going to be honest. I don't like the feeling I'm getting from you. You come off arrogant and your attempt to make China this great, all and annoying. Has anybody read my messages? Is anybody in the chat reading my messages? What? Ghana visa is only $100 for multi-entry and $60 for single. That's what I thought, Renee. And you just got one, so I don't know who charged that person $100 and something. Okay. Thank you. Kenny, hold on. Let me go back to Kenny. ABO, I'm going to be honest. I don't like the feeling I'm getting from you. You come off arrogant and your attempt to make... Kenny, I'm feeling the same way. That's why I asked that y'all reading my chats over in this group over here, because I mean, she sound like she probably Chinese or something. Like look, that's why I asked her, are you S? Because she's talking like the same person that came up. but her name is different. I just got mine in November, so I doubt it. Okay, Renee, by the way. I'm Ashanti too. Okay, y'all, this live is over almost 3 hours long. I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. I want to thank y'all for being here. I gotta work on my platform and see why my moderators can control the chat, because something ain't right here. Thank you for bringing this conversation to your stream. This helps us to see how far we've come, but how much further we African Americans, Jamaican people. Yes. Good riddance. Her last message about China is dominating, made me so. I mean, everything she's saying was getting under my skin. I kept sending messages like, could y'all please, can my moderators do something? Right, Kenny's like, enough is enough. Now let me speak the fuck up, and then I'm still gonna go fry some chicken. I'm gonna go fry some Chinese chicken, nigga. That's what's about to happen. Since you want to talk about the Chinese, I'm finna go have me some nice orange chicken. Slick, sly, and wicked. Their intentions are false. She definitely Chinese. The more I heard her voice, the more I could hear the Asian tone in her. You said it. And she just won't shut up. Like, she just won't, girl, shut up. I wish Trippin' Ain't Easy was on here, because he could test her. He speaks Mandarin. And I could put her up here and had her, do you speak Mandarin? While you trying to make us learn it, do you speak it? Peace to the chat. Thanks for the combo. I'm looking now. Yeah, I gotta go inside of here and see why. Because like I said, my moderators, my main moderators have full access to everything. You even have access to go inside of my YouTube channel and, fix things. Like, you can go inside of my YouTube channel and delete comments and look at analytics and some stuff like that. Okay, so I want to thank y'all for coming in the chat. This was interesting. I will upload. It's 2 hours and 33 minutes. I'm going to upload it because, hey, somebody might want to sit and watch it. It was interesting. Or they might watch 30, 40 minutes of it. I love you all. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the comments. Thank you for the stickers, the super stickers, the super chats. I love you all, and I will see you soon. Stay blessed. Let me see if I can get myself out of here. There we go. End stream. There go husband walking around.